After the PM steps in, Number 10 says it's working at pace to overturn the Israeli fan ban at Aston Villa. The latest from the Home Office, it's doing everything in its power to ensure the game can safely go ahead with all fans present. Also tonight.
The Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. Political pressure is mounting on West Midlands Police tonight to overturn a ban on fans of Israeli side Maccabi Tel Aviv from attending next month's Europa League match against Aston Villa. In the past hour, the government has said it's doing everything in its power to ensure the game can safely go ahead with all fans present. Last night, the Prime Minister slammed the decision, calling it wrong, and today politicians from all sides also condemned it. Police said the fixture was classified as high risk and noted violence between Maccabi and Ajax fans in a match last year. From Villa Park, our correspondent Sergio Carrier has the latest. Let's talk now to our political correspondent Carl Dinner, who's in. Now, there are reports tonight that Prince Andrew could be about to lose his royal title, the Duke of York. It follows a series of embarrassing revelations about the Duke's relationship with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein and with his links with China. Our royal editor Chris Shipp is here now. So, Chris, how exactly would this work?
OK, so listen, my opponents in the major wars of the last century, Kaiser, let's see what's going to happen there, but it could be that she'll just use Sarah Ferguson simply going forward.
OK, and Chris, these reports come ahead of what will be a very busy few days for the King, because he's heading to Italy next week for an historic meeting with the Pope.
But that's a big deal, and with a book coming out on Tuesday by...
Of course. All right, Chris, thank you. Some other news now. The co-founder of Palestine Action can proceed with a legal challenge against the group's prescription as a terror organisation by the government. The Court of Appeal. Ukraine's President Zelensky is tonight meeting President Trump for the third time this year at the White House. Zelensky is expected to press for the US to give his country long-range Tomahawk missiles to help them in the war against Russia. But following Trump's call with President Putin yesterday, the US president is signalling he's not ready to agree. Our correspondent Robert Moore joins us now from Washington. Robert, is news of another summit between Trump and Putin likely to anger the Ukrainians? A gang of Nazi-inspired extremists have been jailed for a total of 29 years for planning terror attacks on mosques and synagogues. The three men were preparing to use more than 200 weapons they'd amassed, including swords and crossbows. One of them had almost finished building a 3D printed semi-automatic firearm at the time of his arrest. From Sheffield Crown Court, here's our North of England reporter, Jonathan Brown. There is plenty more to come on the ITV Evening News, including... Don't go away. We'll see you after the break. Hello and welcome back. A couple who scammed more than 3,500 victims out of a total of £28 million have been sentenced for masterminding an elaborate fraud. Nicola and Mark Rowe were the head of a gang which targeted elderly, vulnerable people who were desperate to relinquish their timeshare properties. The fraud used TV and magazine ads, saw victims put up in hotels, and the gang even created fake virtual offices. As Robert Murphy reports, the couple used the proceeds to live the high life while their elderly victims' lives were ruined. Next this evening, one of the men behind the Manchester Arena bombing has pleaded not guilty to carrying out alleged terrorist attacks on prison officers at the maximum security prison HMP Frankland. Hashim Abedi, who is currently serving a minimum 55-year sentence for the murder of 22 people, is accused of attempting to murder 3 officers and assaulting a 4th using hot cooking oil and makeshift weapons. Sharon Preet-Kara is 2 police officers who showed extraordinary courage to tackle a killer armed with a samurai sword have won Pride of Britain awards for their bravery. PC Cameron King and Inspector Malloy Campbell risked their lives to protect others and help catch Hainault attacker Marcus Arduini Monzo. They told Laura Jones what happened in a warning that her report contains body cam footage of the attack which you may find upsetting. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock. Emmerdale is here in half an hour, but first. A special report on the growing campaign to improve statutory paternity leave and pay in Britain, which is the worst in Europe. And ITV News has found that it's putting parents off having children. British fathers are entitled to a statutory 2 weeks off work at a maximum of £187 per week. Compare that to Spain, which gives dads 16 weeks off at full pay, or Sweden, where fathers are entitled to 34 weeks off at 80% pay. Campaigners say families can benefit hugely from staying together for longer during the early weeks after birth. Lewis Dennison heard from dads and mums on what a better deal would mean for them and their children. Coming up before Emmerdale. Join me and Joe after this short break. Back. Time for the weather now, and Joe is. And finally, the honour for an author whose work has thrilled and inspired generations of children across the world. 80 years ago, Reverend Wilbert Awdry released his first book in the series that would go on to become Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. And today, Historic England celebrated that with a blue plaque at his former home in Stroud. Also, there was his daughter who told ITV News about his incredible legacy, as Layla Hayes reports. Now, before we go, a reminder on that story that's been breaking while we've been on air. Prince Andrew is giving up. Of course, be plenty more reaction to that at 10 with Julie. But for now, from everyone on the Evening News team, bye-bye. Have a great weekend.